How has basketball affected my relationship with my sister? Well, I think it's given us both something that we can talk about and work on and analyze. Just as friends, it's something we can always go to. I don't necessarily think that it's the only thing we talk about, but basketball has been a huge part. Always teaching things that I learned through other people to my sister has always been something I've enjoyed. And, she always was willing to listen. So I think there's a certain element of being a little bit of a teacher and a student between us as big brother and little sister. But just enjoying the game of basketball. We both love it. We both understand it. We both want to work more towards it. And that's really been a big part of my relationship with my sister.
My relationship with my brother has been definitely positively impacted by the game of basketball, mainly because it's given us, just that foundation that we can always, talk about and relate back to, and it gives us like a common ground. We have other things that we talk about, and there's definitely other things we bond over, but basketball has always been that one thing where, we both get it and we both look at it in the same way. We both are competitive in that aspect, and we both, that's our one thing where if we're not going to do it 100%, then we don't want to do it. It's given us something that we can talk about and say, oh, this would work for you and this would work for you, and it kind of gave us a little bond to have.
How are your guys' games affected by each other's competitiveness? Well, I always thought that Mia was very competitive from a young age, like I was. So, once I kind of saw that she had that fire that I had, I do think it was contagious to me as well, even, that she was in middle school, but I saw how hard she worked. And I think she saw how hard I worked. When I was in high school, she got to see me reaping all the benefits of, the hard work, getting attention in newspapers and obviously playing well on the court and things like that. And I think she saw that, if you took the game seriously and you worked towards it, good things would come. So I think I had a big influence in that way with her.
So how do I feel about two of my children reaching 1,000 points? When Brandon reached the 1,000 point, it wasn't even something I ever really thought about until his senior year when people started bringing it up. And I never in my wildest dreams would think I'd have two children, a boy and a girl, who would do it. So it's, I think, just a really cool milestone for both of them to have reached. I think it's just something that's doesn't happen very much, and so it's just really interesting, and it was fun, and it was crazy, and it was a wild ride, and I loved it for both of them, and I'm so glad they can share it, because it's hard for people to really understand what it means and what went into getting it. There's a lot of hard work and dedication and commitment, and so the two of them can really bond. I think my favorite moment was the night of Mia's 1,000 point. She came home and Brandon called her on the phone, and the two of them were talking about it, and you could just see this connection that only they had, because only they could really understand what had happened and what it meant to get there.
Reaching the 1,000 point milestone like my brother did meant a lot to me, and it was something that, like I've said, it's never been something that I thought I had to do or that there was a lot of pressure on me to do. I just thought it would be a cool thing to do, and it is even cooler because I get to join my brother in that club, especially him being the last person to do it at the school. So I definitely think that joining him in the club is something that we'll be able to carry on for the rest of our lives, but it's also something that only we get, and we had, our family support us, our friends support us, we had great coaches, teammates, but it's something that we will be able to share a bond over because we knew the individual work that we had to put into it. So it's kind of a cool thing to share in that aspect.
How will both having scored 1,000 points carry on with you for the rest of your lives? Well, it's definitely just a big milestone accomplishment. It's something that, even if you never saw me play high school basketball, and you knew that I scored 1,000 points, I can at least play a little bit. But it's definitely something you can kind of just hang your hat up on and say, not only did I play the sport, I played it for a long time, and I played it well. And so, the 1,000 points to me was always more of a long-term accomplishment and something that I had worked towards my whole life, as opposed to kind of just, my high school years. To me, it always started the second I picked up a ball when I was 4 years old. But when I see the ball in the, trophy case, I always think of my experience as a basketball player in Amherst and going to Sauhegan. And I know other people see it and they just think, that's a 1,000-point score. But to me, it's always been about the journey and, all the people that were involved and all my coaches that helped. It's really a full package to me, not just one necessarily small thing.
Yeah. So what qualities did I see in both of them that were similar that I think got them onto that same path and eventually to their success in basketball, and not just in basketball, but other areas as well? I think that Brandon and Mia both have something you can't teach. It's a passion, a commitment, and a dedication and a drive. They might be both good dribblers and passers. They have a great shot, but it's a thing that you can't teach people, that commitment. I mean, both of them spent so many hours in the gym. I can remember Brandon would shoot like 100 foul shots every day. When he started lifting, he'd shoot the 100 foul shots to make sure his shot wasn't impacted. Mia would get up at 5:30 in the morning before school, go to the gym, always shoot before games. She wouldn't eat junk food. She wouldn't eat sugar. They were both passionate, and they were both driven, and they were both committed. And those qualities will make people successful in anything, whether it be sports or jobs or relationships. And so I think that's what got them on the same path, those qualities, and that's what will continue to make them both successful people in their lives.